What's going on, CrossBones Nation? This is Nick, and this is another episode of That Just Happened, presented by CrossBones MMA Radio, and the MMA Network. I'm always joined by my boy Eddie Law. What's going on, Eddie?
What's good, man? Notice you're doing this shit now.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, we are live.
That's some old school DJ shit, dude. Like when I used to work at a hip hop station here,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy that was going on, because I used to have like the shifts, right, like midnight shit,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy that used to be do the night shift, before he got fired, and they hired a sexy ass Latina chick from California. God damn, she was so fun. Anyway, but he used to do that on the radio, and I'd be sitting there just waiting for him to finish his shift. He'd be like, "We'll see you guys later," and I'm just like, his shift would end. He would turn off the mic. He would kill the mic, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, they can't see you, right?" Well, yeah, it's just my thing. So I'm like, cool, man. All right, do your thing, dude. You get paid one more than I do. I got a 2-hour shit shift coming up. Anyway, but yeah, man, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, I know, okay, so let's just talk about that real quick. Working in a radio station, I know, isn't it on like a cycle of songs or whatever that just goes through, like a blocks, right? Or something like that?
Yeah. There are blocks of songs and stuff, and it's usually the most popular stuff that goes on. Because here's the thing, most stations are not gonna play like, well, we're in 2015. You're gonna hear a lot of Wayne. You're gonna hear a lot of Drake. You're gonna hear a lot of Big Sean. Basically, anyone that sucks is gonna be like rolling around a lot right now because that's what women want to hear. They don't give look, fellas. If you guys listen to the radio, complain about what music goes on your radio. Stop complaining. They don't give two craps about us. All right, it's all about the ladies because the ladies are gonna go out and hit the clubs for ladies' night. They're gonna drag your ass there because you got nothing else to do. They're the ones that they're not. They don't really give a shit what we think about what we listen to. Because honestly, if guys were dictating what was on the radio, it'd be real raunchy stuff, man. It was hip hop anyway, and about gangster music and stuff. And women don't want to listen to that. Women want to listen to Drake, pretend to be sensitive, even though he has a vagina, and pretend to Lil Wayne do that whole weird ass voice that I still don't think it's his voice. I can't do it anymore, but. Regardless, it is in blocks, and you do get the same freaking 5 songs that have to play every hour, and then you get, if you're lucky, you get to mix in a few here and there. If you get like the midnight shift to like 2-3 in the morning shift, you can get away with playing whatever you want, which I used to. But this is like 10 years ago, man, no joke, right out of high school.
Oh,
so I haven't done radio in a long time. I would love to go back, but only if it was like sports talk radio. I refuse to do music radio anymore. The politics in the music radio station. I'm sure, look, there's politics everywhere you go, especially a sports station, but at least I can be competitive there, right? At the station that I was at, one of the girls that used to, that I went in as an intern, right? And then I got hired out of there. One of the girls that was in there, first of all, she was fine as hell. Fine as hell. Okay, she was a mix of something. If whoever made her, God bless them. Please make more. But she was hired to do the morning show right out of internship because she was sexy as shit. And at first I was pissed off. I was like, man, she sucks on the radio because she did suck. But then you think about it, politics works out. She got a big old booty on her, and she fine as hell. And I'll tell you what, I can't listen to her talk, and she's still. And I'm not gonna give away who it is because if we're on the internet, it's stupid. Someone will figure it out. But she does have her own morning show here in the Valley still. So hey, man, can't knock the hustle.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. But let's get into some sports talk. Today we're going to recap WEC 53, the last ever WEC card, and there was a moment in this card that everyone should know that we'll get into later. But this card was stacked overall. We ended up only watching the last 4 fights, the main card fights. Back then, I think we were talking about they didn't show the WEC prelims on TV or something like that. It was probably more than likely online, or you had to catch it somewhere else. But let's get right into it. The first fight of the night on the main card was Kaval versus Bart. I'm not even going to try with both their last names. In my opinion, this was a very, very entertaining fight. I like Kaval in the whole fight. He was very smart, very fast. But what did you think about the whole fight?
Here's the thing. Kamal had the ground game, man. That dude had wrestling for days, right? And what Bart is what I call, and nobody get offended, is what I call a redneck brawler. This dude did not give a fuck. He would, look, he was one to stand. There was sometimes during the oh shit, 1 second. All right, I have allergies, so this shit happens. Anyway, there was times they would, Kamal would take him down. He let some nice shots. Bart would get back to his feet, and he'd do this thing where he'd be like, "Hey, let's go, come on, put his hands out, let's go." And look, Kamal's striking was not bad at all. It was actually pretty good. It was good enough to give him a split decision win. I thought it should have been unanimous, but hey, some people had Bart winning, which I found weird because he didn't get any takedowns, I don't think. And then not that I remember, but no, Kamal's a solid dude. Weirdly enough, I don't think we ever saw him again. I'm checking his record right now, and we saw him in the UFC twice after his fight. He lost to Jim Miller. Mm-hmm. He did get to lose to Khabib Nurmagomedov, so that kind of sucks for him. And he lost to RDA. Last time he fought was August last year at 1FC. So it seems like he's still active-ish, but at 37 years old and only 9-4. He fights pretty sparingly. His career is not going to be much longer, even if he's still active. But for this fight overall, look, just watching this fight, I would have never put him against the top guys at WC. Just wouldn't have done it. Yeah, because they would have killed him.
Yeah, no, these two fighters actually, I think, are two of the only fighters almost that on the whole card that didn't get signed to the UFC. There's a handful here and there on the card, but I think these two didn't even get signed. I would like to see them in the UFC, see what they had, maybe if they grew with the company, became title contenders, anything like that. But I actually don't think they would. Kaval was a good fighter. He was good on the ground, everything like that. But like you said, Bart was that redneck brawler in a way that he would just go for it. But hey, Nick Diaz did that too, and look what happened to him.
Nick Diaz, here's the thing though. Nick Diaz actually had skills, man.
Yeah, no, that's
Bart. Yeah, Bart. It's not that Bart didn't have skills. It's that Nick is just a different kind of athlete, right? So yeah. That's kind of what happened to him. But as far as like the rest of his career, after that fight against Kamal, I'm trying to pull it up here. He fought up until August 2013. He actually fought in the UFC against Cole Miller and against Diego Nunez and against Hatsuhioki. He actually won. You know what? It looks like he went 1-3 in the UFC. So they gave him plenty of shots to do something. But yeah, it looks like his career's over. He's only 31, but it looks like his career's probably over. Hasn't fought since 2013. I think a 3-year layoff pretty much says I'm done.
Yeah, and same with Kaval. Kaval did get signed by the UFC. 3 straight, lost again to 3 straight. Jim Miller, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and RDA, who's our new champion in the division. So, I like Kaval. I like his nickname, the Prince of Persia. That was just a sick name. I don't know. I used to play that game when I was a kid. I guess that's why. But it was a good fight, a good entertaining fight to start off the night for the last WEC card. All these fights were great. But moving on to the next fight, it was Donald Cowboy Cerrone. I think he was 24, 25 in this card. Somewhere he was young, against Chris Hirodoki.
Yeah, and let me see. Let me give a shot at saying it. Horodeski. They were saying
Hodeski.
Horodeski is what I think they were saying on the broadcast. I think they might have been wrong too. Let's just go with let's just call him Chris.
Chris. There you go. Well, we got to see young Cowboy. Beginning of his career, I think he was champion over at WEC at one point.
Donald?
No, was he? No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
He should have been. He should have got a title shot.
In fact, he lost to Benson Henderson.
Yeah.
Twice.
But Cowboy, great fighter overall. Love him. It's just he goes to fight, and he has the skill to do it. Chris, on the other hand, he got beat up this whole fight, in my opinion. It's the whole fight. But what did you think, Eddie?
Here's the thing. I think Cowboy. This is the beginning. Okay, you remember when we used to say, and it's been maybe a year or two, or maybe like a year or so since we were able to say this. Remember the phrase, depending on which Cowboy shows up?
Yeah.
The WEC was the beginning of that saying. I mean, look, he started off in the WEC back in 2007. He no contested against Kenneth Alexander. Then went on a 2-fight win streak, beat Danny Castillo and Rob McCullough. Lost to Jamie Varner, beat James Cross, lost to Ben Henderson, beat Ed Radcliffe, lost to Ben Henderson, beat Jamie Varner, and then he went on a tear for looks like 6-fight win streak, lost to Nate in the UFC. So it's when we started to see that depending on what Cowboy shows up, right? So that's kind of when it started. However, his style hasn't changed very much, right? I think for him it was more of a mental issue that it was with those, those win one, lose one, win one, lose one deals that they used to have. Now he's just going on win streaks and currently on a 7-fight win streak, I believe. But in this fight though, he showed a lot of his stand-up game, and I give it up to Chris, man. Chris actually got a couple takedowns on him, especially he actually got a pretty good trip takedown on Cowboy. Cowboy was able to pop right back up. Landed a lot of solid body shots, man. And, I mean, look at the Cowboy from this. He's only gotten better with age, and it's more. I think what I noticed the biggest difference is confidence, and just the confidence, really. Confidence and technique is better. Same. It's just now he can, when you get a Cowboy fight, you're like, Cowboy gonna whoop his ass,
Yeah.
But yeah, back then, man, it was like, depending on which Cowboy shows up, we'll see who wins.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of weird that you say that because back then, in 2010 through 2011, he started going through the tear that he is right now, just winning back to back to back to back. So is that the Cowboy that we're seeing right now, and then will he get knocked off that pedestal and start losing, winning, depending on what Cowboy shows up? Will that still stay there, or will he eventually get up to that title shot? I hope he does personally because I like Cowboy. I like the way he fights. Actually, I think I said the story on Keyboard or 5 Rounds or something, the UFC event that I got to go see. I was going to get a beer before last call, and he was standing next to me trying to get a beer too. I was like, hey, you're Cowboy. He's like, yeah, can you get me a beer? He's like, no. He's like, all right, I'll be back, and just disappeared. I was like, he's tall as hell. But he's a cool dude. Like, I like him. He's a great fighter. His style is awesome, but I don't know. It was an entertaining fight in my opinion. He did win, I believe, by rear naked choke, triangle choke.
Yeah, it was a triangle choke. In fact, he had him in a couple triangle chokes that Chris, to his credit, got out of pretty easily. But one thing that Cowboy has on the ground is a nasty triangle choke. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Chris was able to get out of it at the end.
Yeah, no, he has those long legs that he just knows how to lock in a triangle choke and hold you in there. And he had him in that triangle choke for a while. He was working it, trying to get him, pulling his head down, pulling his arm, trying to get it, and then he finally ended up sinking it in and getting the tap.
Yeah, and Chris is one of those guys that did not get to make that jump to the UFC. He from WEC 53, he fought that next April at Knockout Entertainment MMA, The Reckoning, wherever that is. Then went off to Bellator for 3 fights. Then Score Fighting Series and XSFC, PFC, returned to Bellator, and now he last fought in October at World Series of Fighting, so it looks like he's still active. He's still young. He's only 27. He fought him when he was like a freaking baby. Yeah. But 21-5 record. This Chris kid, if he goes on a tear, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him back. If we saw him in the UFC. But he also fights a featherweight now, so it's kind of it's a rough go for this guy.
Yeah, no, that's a rough go, especially now. But going to the co-main event, which was for 2 title belts, WEC and the newly crowned UFC champion, Dominic Cruz versus Scott Jorgensen. I didn't expect Scott Jorgensen to be up there in that rankings. When I first saw the card, I was like, wait, Scott Jorgensen used to be in the UFC. He's not. He's been on a couple wins here and there, but not the best. But here he showed up to fight. But Dominic Cruz, in my opinion, is one of the best strikers in the UFC. His head movement's crazy. What do you think?
Here's the thing about Dominic Cruz. His footwork, I don't think there's anyone that has it, that has any better footwork than he does. Dominic Cruz is the best footwork in MMA right now, bar none. There's nobody else. Okay, yeah, sure, we haven't seen him in a while and all that stuff. I get it. But even again, in his last fight, when he smashed whatever nameless dude he fought, that I forgot who it was, but even then the footwork was there. It was crazy. And in this fight, he was doing this thing where he moved his entire upper body back and forth, left and right, coming in at really, really, really weird angles, man. He was throwing strikes from weird freaking angles. And then he landed that jab that dropped Scott Jorgensen for a second. And Scott wasn't hurt; he was okay. But Dominic just has that footwork. His technique. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Is there anybody with better technique in the UFC that you can think of?
No. His technique's so weird, and like you said, he moves side to side with his whole body. He just goes for it and just punch you at a weird angle. If he goes left, he's punching with his left hand. It's really weird what he does, and no one can mimic that. In my opinion, he's just super fast with it. So.
Yeah, and look, here's the problem with that though. He started out the first 2 rounds like that, right? Standing, throwing. It was entertaining as hell. Third, fourth, and fifth was a lot of wrestling. A
Yeah.
lot of not praying, lay and pray, but he was just getting positions and staying on top. And the crowd started to boo. They did not like that. But he gets that win, and then he immediately goes to the side of the cage and points at Uriah Faber like he wants to fight him, because Uriah Faber at that point was the only guy that had beaten him in his career. In fact, that's the only loss he still has on his record is against Uriah Faber. So, in fact, he got that win back. Actually, if you think about it, at UFC 132. So he won a decision over Uriah. But if because he hasn't lost in a long time, right? He's on. I mean, if we look at his win streak, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fight win streak. Sure, lots of gaps in between those, but still 11 fight win streak. He hasn't lost. So it sucks that he's gotten injured so much. And you got to think it's due to a lot of all the wrestling practice that he does and all the footwork stuff that he does. And I mean, look at it. Look, you saw him in this fight years ago, and he was really, really good. And all he did was get better. How scary is that? Imagine if he comes back at half what he did. And he came back at a little more than half in his last fight. But if he comes back from his recent injury at just half of what he used to be, he can still tear up that 135 division. And I would love to do. Imagine a fight between him and TJ. All right, like it was supposed to happen. I think is what it was. But imagine TJ Dillashaw against Dominic Cruz, both like footwork monsters, super quick guys. It would be just insane to watch. You know what I mean? You might actually get like a good a decent amount of pay-per-view buys off of 2 little guys fighting for once, not named Demetrius Johnson.
God damn it. But no, still, no. It's true. Like, I think that fight, now that I think about it, would be the small division fight to make. Like, Mighty Mouse doesn't have anyone that can top him except John Dodson, which we'll see this weekend if he can get a crazy knockout or anything like that. But Dominic Cruz is legitimate. He has to be one of the dominant fighters in the UFC. It just sucks he keeps getting injured. I want to see him back in the cage because his last fight against Mizugaki, he just beat him in like what, a minute. Went in there, did work, and left.
Yeah, no, here's the thing too, is he owns a win over DJ. Cruz does. So it'd be hilarious to me if he went, beat TJ for the belt, defended it once or twice if he's still able to fight and not getting injured all the time, cut down to 125 and took that belt too. That would be hilarious to me. I would love to see it because I think he could. And then, but I don't think he could move up to 145 and do anything too crazy. I don't think that would happen. But yeah, it'd be. I don't know. I'm a big Cruz fan. I just wish he stopped getting hurt so much.
Yeah, exactly. I like Cruz too. Not back in the day when he fought Uriah Faber because I liked Uriah back then, but no, he's been growing on me. I really like his fighting style. It's so different that it's just so weird to watch. But you're like, damn, how the hell does he do this, half of the stuff that he does?
Yeah, and then just to touch on Scott, we barely talked about Scott. Scott, at this point, he was training with Joe Warren. He might still be training with Joe Warren for Bellator. But he was a guy, he still is a guy who likes to throw his hands, but wasn't using his look. He's a wrestler. He's a wrestling dude, and his wrestling was always very good. But at this point in WEC, he was still working on a stand-up, and it was coming along. He was doing okay, but obviously in this fight, he had nothing for Cruz. It was like a 4-inch height difference, which if you train, you know it makes a difference. There was only a couple inches of reach advantage for Cruz, but look, man, if there was ever a huge mismatch, this is it right here. Scott kind of got thrown to the wolves at this point because before his fight against Dominic Cruz, he had beaten Noah Thomas, Mizugaki, Chad George, Antonio Banuelos, and Brad Pickett to get that title shot.
Yeah.
But if you remember at WEC, there were a lot of 135ers that you could have thrown to Dominic Cruz, but none that deserved a shot like Scott Jorgensen did off a record. So he had to get the shot, and they gave it to him. And I don't think he won any rounds in that fight. I think it was all Dominic Cruz all the way. But that speaks to more to Dominic Cruz's skill set, right? But unfortunately for Mr. Jorgensen, I mean, he's kind of done that. Win 2, lose 2, win 1, lose 3, and I don't even know. He's still in the UFC. Do you know if he's been cut?
Yeah, he's still in the UFC. He's fighting actually on July 15th at a fight night against Manny Gamburin. And I think if he loses that one, yeah, it's a good fight. But if he loses that one, do you think we'll still see Scott Jorgensen in the UFC?
No, too inconsistent. Way too inconsistent. Although if he comes out and has like a huge, just a brawl, I'm sure they'll bring him back for entertainment's sake. But don't get it twisted. Manny's gonna finish him.
Yeah, unfortunately. No, I think Manny will finish him too. But moving on to the main event, which in my opinion was the fight of the year. It got nominated fight of the year. It was the craziest fight that I've seen up to that date. It was insane. Ben Henderson, who was the lightweight champion of the world, against Anthony Showtime Pettis in Ben Henderson's hometown of Glendale, Arizona. So, Eddie, it's near your hometown. What did you think of the fight?
All right. Here, first of all, homeboy's from Seattle. He just trains in Glendale. He calls it his hometown. But yeah, I get the whole thing. You kind of got to do that, right? You got to bring a hometown guy to fight on a card like this. But could you imagine a better fight to close WEC with? It was insane. First, every round was back and forth. Every single round was back and forth. Benson would try, would get a takedown, control Pettis on the ground. Pettis would, almost sub him like a couple times every single round and get back up, land some shots on him. Every single, in my opinion, every single round was hard to score. Judges didn't think so at the end of the fight. It was a unanimous decision, I think, for Anthony. But was it? Yeah, it was. Yeah. So, dude, it was just crazy to rewatch this fight. And me, I was sitting there waiting for the Showtime kick. And by the way, why the hell isn't Stephan Bonner still calling fights? All right, he lost his mind. He kicked off the wall like a ninja. Like I was like, we need to get Stephan Bonner on Invicta. All right. Okay. Look, Julie Kedsey's awesome. I don't know. Was it TJ DeSantis?
Yes, DeSantis.
That guy. That guy's doing whatever. Bring in Stephan Bonner. I would love to see Stephan Bonner on there calling fights. All right, that dude's entertaining. But overall, man, that fight was honestly, I want to say that was the best of Pettis against the best of Henderson. And you remember when they fought in the UFC for the lightweight title? And everyone, they were all they were doing is showing the Showtime kick over and over and over and over again, so it drove everybody insane. It was I don't know, it's one of those fun things for me to have seen. I actually watched this card, not live, but I got to see it on TV at my buddy's house, and it was man, it was crazy. All right, and to see a guy use a ninja move, like kicking off the wall, smacking him in the face. I thought Benson was out. I mean, out. And this was, this was a matchup of two guys that are gonna go down as two of the best lightweights to ever do it. You think Benson Henderson, one of the best to ever do it at 155, and you think Anthony Pettis, one of the best to do it at 155. Other than getting schooled horribly by RDA, but overall this fight was great, and it was great to see the rematch in the UFC and have it end the way it did with the arm bar, the very, very technical arm bar that nobody in the crowd understood. Okay, that tells you about American crowds is they're not really sure what they're watching when they're watching grappling. So what other moments were here? There was a couple moments actually where Benson took Pettis down, and Pettis would get him in like a triangle move, and then Benson was trying to like kind of take him down again. It was weird. Pettis would roll with him and land back on his back again and try to keep the triangle going. Two guys that Benson. I mean, not that he doesn't go for the finish, but he's not a very prolific finisher. To where Pettis always goes for a finish. So the Showtime kick showed it, and that's what you're gonna remember from that fight forever. And it was definitely one of the best fights in the lightweight history in MMA overall.
Yeah, overall, that I totally agree with you there. That whole fight, it's just. Okay, so back in the day when I did kickboxing, that's stuff that I would do in the gym. I would go for high kicks. I would try doing spinning stuff in sparring matches and stuff like that. If I was a fighter today, I would mirror everything off of these two fighters, both of them. Try to combine their skills and do that. The Showtime kick was the craziest kick I ever saw on TV. I was watching it at my buddy's house. I'm sitting there. I'm like, this fight is insane. And then when he kicked off that cage, I'm like, what the fuck did I just see? It was the craziest thing I ever saw in my life. Even like I just watched it actually before the show just to get refresher on it, and my girlfriend was like, "What the hell was that?" And it's just insane. You can show that fight, that clip to any non-MMA fan and be like, who's that guy? I want to watch that guy fight. Because even in the future, he's been doing wheel kicks. He does cartwheel kicks. He pushes off the cage for Superman punches. In that fight, he did flying knees and everything like that. He's a very talented athlete and diverse with his kicks. Same with kind of Benson. Benson would throw those high kicks out of nowhere, those low kicks out of nowhere at different types of angles. And it was just these two fighters in a cage together. It's going to be a great fight. And I hope in the future we get to see them fight again, hopefully.
I think we'll get the third fight. There's no way you don't get a third fight against those two guys. I mean, they're one. No, it's Pettis is 2-0 against them, and you know Benson's gonna want that chance to get one on him. But against RDA, man, I mean, I wonder if Pettis was hurt, and I wonder if maybe that early shot to the eye, say because Pettis say he couldn't see and everything. If that was really the reason why RDA was able to dominate him,
or even his brother losing that night.
Man, that was just bad luck, dude. That was just if I had a brother, I do have a younger brother, but if I had a brother that fought and I was fighting two who were both pros, I would never want to fight in the same card as him because I'd be more worried about his fight than mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and for sure that's got to be something that got to him. Also, possibly what people are calling the CM Punk curse, with both Pettis brothers losing that same night, and then Ben Askren's fight going no contest because he eye poked the dude. And then who else lost out of that camp? Somebody else lost out of that camp. But still,
Melendez, isn't he?
No, Melendez not there.
Melendez is fight out of there.
No, Melendez fights out of San Francisco, his own gym.
That's right. Yeah.
So, look.
CM Punk's coming. He's taking all their talent. It's like Space Jam. He's taking all their talent.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. It's on the heavy bag somewhere, and he's carrying it around until Charles Barkley shows up, or Michael Jordan shows up and decides to get it back.
CM Punk wants that Green Ranger. Watch.
Dude, no, please no. I can't stand. What's his name? Something Frank.
Jason David Frank, man, he's a beast.
Fuck that guy, dude. I can't.
Okay, in real life, like doing a seminar with him during my first competition, sick dude, like skilled out the ass. Mm-hmm. But in a cage, no. Once you get punched in the face real time, it ain't. It's different. No.
Look, here's the thing. He just wants a fight to get into the UFC and be in there. That's just what he wants. And look, if that's what he wants, why not? Go ahead. I think CM Punk will fuck him up, but that's just me. I never seen CM Punk fights. I don't know. You know what though? Now you mentioned the power in your training with the Green Ranger. Mm-hmm. I did karate for like 2 years when I was a kid, and I got to train with Austin St. John. I think his name was the Red Ranger. Mm-hmm. I was so not impressed with any of his skills. I think I quit karate the next day. After I trained with him, I was like, "Wow, this guy's a fraud. Fuck all this shit. I'm out. Like,
I'm out this. Forget this.
I'm out. Let me just go back to playing basketball. This blows." So,
with Jason, he jack dude, knew all his stuff, taught us a lot of good techniques. That's why I think he, out of all the Power Rangers, I don't know why we're talking about Power Rangers on the show.
I know,
I know he had to be like one of the purest martial artists, not MMA, but martial arts. But anyway, going back to the card, it's funny because Ben Henderson actually won the UFC title before Anthony Pettis did.
Yeah, Pettis actually was supposed to get that title shot, but I think he got hurt too again.
No, it was the Frankie Edgar Maynard fight, the draw.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But then they had to do a rematch, and so Pettis didn't want to wait. That's right.
Yeah. So he fought Clay Guida and lost.
Yeah, it was just some bad luck right there. That's what I don't like about this Cowboy fight this weekend. Is they told him, dude, and I read it somewhere. I think he said it that the UFC offered him the title fight if he waited, but he didn't want to wait. And so now you get this John McDessie guy who just finished somebody's last fight.
I don't like that.
And it really looks like a bad fight for Cowboy. I do. Look, I hate to say it, man, but I could see Cowboy losing this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks. Because if he was offered that shot, I would have taken that in a heartbeat. Take that. That could be his only chance.
I would have done it, but I think Cowboy cares more about money than he does titles, man. So
I think he just likes fighting more than anything. He just likes getting in there and fighting.
Yeah, and beer and shit.
And beer. Definitely.
Dude, let's talk about all the other names on this card that we didn't get to see because of the prelims. I mean, every guy on here, you have. I'll go through the names and we'll decide. We'll talk about the champ, who's champ, or Look, that's one champion on here. All right, so the very first fight of a prelim for this WC card, Renan Barao against Chris Carriazo. Then Yuri Alcantara against Ricardo Lamas. So you have 3 guys that fought for a title right there. One that's been a champ. Danny Castillo's on that card. Eddie Wineland's on that card. Ivan Menjivar and Brad Pickett are on that card. And Jamie Varner against Shane Roller. Look, you had anyone who was anyone at bantamweight on that card for UFC. Granted, brand new division for the UFC, so you needed to bring all those guys in, but it was impressive. To see that all those these days that card would be massive.
Oh yeah, no, that card would be insane. And look, you had the champ. You had why can't I think of his name right? Renan Barao on the whole card, who was undefeated for how many years?
Forever.
Until he lost? Forever. He was undefeated for, I think it was 8 years almost. Yeah. And he lost to TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah, that was it was, I don't know. He cuts too much weight. That's what I'm saying.
You really think that was a fluke fight?
What, TJ against Renan?
Yeah.
I think TJ. Look, here's the thing. Look, it's hard for me to call a fight a fluke. Okay.
Okay.
Hard for me to call a fight a fluke because you still get in there and throw bombs. You still get in there and throw bones, as Joe Rogan likes to say. TJ caught him early with a shot that rocked Renan Barao. Okay. He was hurt the rest of the fight, and then TJ just styled on him. Right. We've never seen Renan Barao get treated like that ever. And then TJ does it after he rocks him. I think this next fight they're gonna have, if it happens, it's TJ's gonna have to do something like that again, or maybe he improved that much in the last couple or years and changed as he fought him. But I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't take his belt back. Okay, but I don't know. I don't think it was a fluke. I have a hard time calling anything a fluke when these guys are putting in training camps and putting in blood, sweat, tears. I have a hard time saying, even when people were saying, Chris Weidman knocking out Anderson Silva is a fluke. It's a fluke. Look, bullshit. Oh, shut up. Bullshit. You know why it's bullshit? Because Anderson Silva should have been playing like a dumbass. Okay, he does it to everybody. He does that whole, I'm hurt, come hit my chin. Well, someone hit you, motherfucker, and put you to sleep. Okay? So, no fluke. You dumb. That's what it was.
Second fight was Weidman.
Second fight is a better definition of a fluke than was the first one. Because how you break
freak accident. It happened.
That's freak accident. There you go. But if we see Anderson Silva against Chris Weidman 3, I'm putting the house on Weidman because Anderson Silva got no chance.
You're putting the house on Weidman. Okay.
Yeah, I'm betting everything on Weidman.
I put half the house on Weidman.
Yeah, okay, man.
You never know. It is MMA.
Oh, I know. Weidman was stronger. Who you got this weekend?
This weekend?
Weidman and Vitor.
Okay, personally, I'm going Vitor. Because I kind of, not because it's Weidman.
You hate Weidman.
No, not because of Weidman. I like Weidman. I just hate him at the time. I like Weidman. I just want to see Vitor get a belt again before he retires. And not juice to his fucking teeth.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you've seen pictures of Vitor, but he's got a pencil neck, bro. All right, it's fucking over.
I've seen the embedded videos. He's tiny. He's tiny.
He should be sick. He looks like he fight 170. Legitimately 170.
He'll probably weigh in at 170.
Yeah. You know what, Vitor? Just cut the weight, man. Go down to 170. I give him a shot at 170. No problem. He'll be huge compared to those guys.
No, that's true. That is absolutely true. But who you got? Chris Weidman, I'm guessing.
Hell yeah, I got Chris Weidman. Out of here with that. Vitor.
I just want to.
I like Vitor. I'm a Vitor champ. I'm a Vitor fan.
You're a Vitor champ?
But Vitor's time is done. I know I'm a Vitor champ. I'm a Vitor fan. But Vitor's time is done. All right. And then Rockhold's coming to take that belt, son.
Rockhold's not taking that belt from Weidman.
Get out of here. Rockhold's going to knock out Weidman.
No, Rockhold's not the guy to beat Weidman. I think, I don't want to say it because I think Jacare is the guy to beat him.
No.
He just has that strength. He has that strength on the ground. I don't think Rockhold, yeah, he's taller, but I think Chris can outspeed him.
We'll see. It's a fight that I think we're going to get to see, I think. So.
No, because Vitor's going to win this weekend.
Oh, shut up. If Vitor wins, then for sure Rockhold is going to be champ. All right, I'll tell you right now.
Chris Weidman's getting my money because I'm buying this card.
You know what? I want to buy this card. I really do. I think I'm going to end up at a B-dubs somewhere because just because my friends are cheap bastards. So I might.
It'd be cheaper to buy. Well,
it'd be better to buy it at home. It really would be. But none of my friends friends want to host, and I'm not hosting. So
Won't you
if I
host?
end up buying it, if I'm buying it, is my place is not big enough for that. But if
No.
I'm buying it, I'm watching it at home, probably me and like 2 friends. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd be
that's
okay.
probably. But to recap, 153 overall. What did you think of the whole card? UFC or WC 150 or 53, 153,
Yeah,
53.
right.
Think of
It
the
was.
last WC card.
Look, the other day we were talking about this with Mark Munoz. It's very, very rare when you get to go out on top,
Mhm.
right? WEC went out with one of their best cards ever, easily, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of names on it, a lot of wins, like, a lot of good performances and everything. So, and to top it off with Benson Henderson, the Showtime kick from Anthony Pettis, what better way to go out? You know, so I enjoyed the hell out of this card for sure. It was one of those that, like, even some of the Pride cards were like long for me to watch because those rounds are like 10-minute rounds, and I honestly I enjoy the Pride cards as well, but not as much as the WC cards because the WC was like the king of the lightweights, man. Because UFC didn't have those lightweights yet, so you had every great lightweight over at WC, and fast fighting and striking is what I enjoy watching. So it's I don't know. If I had to give it like a from 1 to 10, I honestly I would give it like a 9.5.
Yeah, no, I'll give it like around the same, a 9, 9.5. It just was a crazy card, like you said, just ending off your strike for or the WEC career with such a great card and such great fighters who went on to be champions in the next division or in the UFC and everything like that. I really enjoyed the card. There's a card I can go back and watch over and over. Actually, I just watched the Showtime kick over and over just because it's insane. But overall, great card. Really enjoyed it. But other than that, we got a card this weekend, it's going to be insane, which I can't wait for. Other than that, do you have anything else?
Real quick, since we're live, and we'll just take advantage of it now. I don't know if you saw what Front Row Brian tweeted out. Did you see it?
No, I did not. I don't even
All
think.
right.
Oh, I do follow Front Row Bar.
Yeah, you do. But let me pull it up. Let me pull it up because it's interesting. Okay, and if it's true, it's a shitstorm coming to the UFC on this whole Reebok deal. All right, it's pulling up. Hate Safari and the internet. Okay. All right. When it decides to pull up, I'll read it out. But he actually tweeted out he says a reliable source. Okay. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. From a trusted source on the Reebok deal. Just under half the money from Reebok is going to the fighters. 10% to administer it, 40% to the Fertittas and Dana White.
I thought none of the money was going to the UFC.
Like I said, this is from you got to take it with like a bucket of salt with Front Row with Brian because FRB he's right. Honestly, he's right most of the time. There's been only a few times where he's been dead, like he's been pretty wrong, but where he's been wrong. So I don't know for sure. But whoa, Amy Turner, what up? This chick named Amy Turner just followed me on Twitter. I don't know. This is probably not even her on the Twitter account, but whoever that is, all right. Anyways, yeah, it's true. Shitstorm coming to the UFC. There's no way that people don't call him on it. However, I don't think that we're ever gonna find out because Front Row Brian actually made this point too, saying that we're probably never gonna find out if that's true or not because they don't have to tell us.
Yeah. But they came out with their statement saying that UFC will not touch any of the money. It all goes towards the fighters, which,
bullshit.
in my opinion, I knew it was going to be bullshit because UFC has to make money off of it somehow, other than people buying jerseys and whatever their uniforms look like. Other than that, no, I knew the UFC was probably going to get some money out of that either. So that's crazy.
Yeah, so we'll end up talking about that probably on Keyboard Warriors in 5 rounds next week.
Yeah.
But let's see, other stuff I want to say before we get off air. Saturday, before the card actually goes down, my bad, I almost forgot. We'll be doing a UFC 187 preview. We know when we're able to do these, they usually happen about hour and a half before the Fight Pass prelims start. That way you can have all this information fresh in your mind. Then we go right into the card, and you got all the stuff in your head already. We go into detail about every fighter and every fight on the card. This weekend, I believe, well, for sure me, maybe I think we might get the mysterious Dom Manos on there. And I'm not sure. Are you working that day?
Yeah, I have to work that day, but I'll send in my picks.
Yeah, we'll do picks and all that stuff. So yeah, tune in this Saturday for the preview. At the most, you'll get me and Don. At the very least, you'll get me, and I'll try to make it entertaining as much as I can.
Which is never entertaining because I'm joking. Eddie's shows are the best.
Suck a dick, Nick Pilecki.
Which, first of all, I give a shout out. If you haven't heard his podcast, the ULI, it is amazing. Has to be one of the best shows ever. You better do a show this week, by the way, because I've been waiting for him.
Working on it, man. Working. Hey, scheduling this stuff out with my friends is since everyone else is married and has kids and stuff. I'm the only single guy. Ladies, get at me in Arizona. Actually, even if you're not in Arizona, ladies, get at me. Yeah, I have to they have to work it out and everything. But yeah, I'm working on a show for Friday, the ULI. So stick to my Twitter if you want to listen to us live. We get on YouTube and start talking about your shit, and then of course the audio goes into iTunes. So
yeah. Well, that's going to be it for me and for Eddie Law. This was another episode of That Just Happened. Go follow Eddie Law at eLaw31 on Twitter. Follow me at NickXMicro, and follow the show follow the website at CrossBonesMMA Radio. If anything else, Eddie?
that's it.
All right, man. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.